Hello. Hello, everyone. I had a little bit of difficulty, but we seem to have sorted everything out. How's everyone doing? Today is... It's a weird one. I am trying to settle back in. Over the weekend, I went out of town. I visited a friend, and we did a bunch of stuff, basically just to hang out. Went to a festival. Bunch of stuff's going on, so I'm trying to like readjust to being back again, and we're struggling a little bit with that. We are struggling a little bit with that, but today is less about me and more about, we do have some brand new information to take a look at. We have the new Worlds format rules, which is going to be quite interesting. It gives us a cutoff point for when the decks are going to be legal, as well as it also tells us, you know, how the format's going to work. And that is true for all of the different formats. So Rush, Speed, Master Duel, and TCG. So I do want to have a read through all of that, talk about it with you guys. Beyond that, there is also a couple of other things I want to take a look at. We obviously have the new Speed leaks, which are quite exciting. I know a lot of the people that do come to this channel aren't super interested in Speed, but it is something that I am interested in, so I do want to have a look at it either way. Other than that, I did want to talk about Digimon Up, because it's been a bit of a weird one. I struggled to play Digimon Up at the start because I kept getting error codes, and then they fixed it. So I had to jump in after I got back from my weekend away. So because of that, it's been a bit tricky. So I'm like behind, but then a lot of people are saying Up is the worst thing. We're going to get into all that. We're going to go through all of our usual yappy bits. That is the plan. That is the plan today. But before we get into all of that, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. So we have Victor with that first. Hello, Victor. Gotta go, got shit to do. Have a good day, Tomato. It's always a pleasure, Victor. We have Ursus in the chat. Happy almost birthday. Oh, yes, that is right. It is my birthday tomorrow, which is a bit of a weird one, because ideally I'd like to like stream on my birthday, right? But that's just not kind of how the world works. It happened to coincide last year with that, but for this year, it's a Wednesday, which is not usual stream day. Now, I am also going to be going out for my birthday, so I'm not sure what exactly is going to be going on with the Zexal stream. I know we haven't done it in so long, and it's annoying because I really want to get back on and watch that. If I am back and available in time, we will be doing the Zexal stream as normal. It's just going to be a birthday Zexal stream. If I'm not, then we can't. That's just how that's going to have to be. But hello. I gotta go again. Hello, Apple. Welcome on in. I think it was Apple as well who was talking about Digimon Up. I think it was Apple who was talking about making a camp, but I haven't done that. I've been a bit slow with it. Black screen muted. Yeah, that's my bad. Hello, a human Portuguese dub fan. Welcome. British. Exactly. I was meeting a friend at 2 PM, but they couldn't, so I'm on my way elsewhere. That's why it took me longer. I see. Deck build early August. Potentially. We will take a look at that when we do get to that stage, but it's looking like they might drop one, like, literally August 6th. That, if they're going to drop one, like, August 6th, it's a weird day though, because it's a Thursday. I don't know. It's a weird one. We'll have to wait and see what they actually do. But we'll talk about it when we get to it. Preferably not if we get something end of next month or middle. Well, next month is August, and the cutoff date for Worlds is the 6th of August. So if we want a new product before then, it has to be before then. It comes down to like, are they going to or not? But we'll get into all of that. First things first. Any eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that I'm wearing different glasses, and that's because I went to the opticians. I got my new glasses. These are my old glasses. Look at how small they are compared to these ones. Like they're ridiculously small. So I probably look very different. So there's actually a funny story about this. I had to go in to the optician. I went to the optician, by the way, over a month ago at this point. And I had an eye test, and I had to go there because I was having migraines. Regardless of whether or not I needed an eye test or not, I needed to have that to rule out that as a potential cause of the migraine. So I went there. That was all fine. I had my eye test. They checked my eyes. I said everything looks fine. It looks fine. We'll get a new prescription, etc., etc. That was all fine. Then I went and picked some new glasses. And the glasses I picked were these. I picked these glasses not because they were like super dry, because ironically these are super dry glasses. I picked these because they looked the best and they were the best shape for my face. So this is how they would have looked, give or take, if I had gotten the glasses I want. So I went through, picked it. They went through, measured it all, made sure everything was fine. And then right at the last moment, they were like, actually, these glasses won't work because of my prescription and because the thickness of the lens is going to be too much for these frames. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit annoying, but that's whatever. So then we picked out these ones, and these ones are fine. I like these glasses to an extent. They're not the ones I wanted, but they are fine, right? They are okay glasses. We'll go back to this so you just admire my glasses again. So these are fine. So they say, all right, in order to have these glasses, because my eyesight is so bad, we have to do lens thinning, right? So you have to like basically shave off the lens. And that would cost a bunch of money. So in total, these glasses that cost, I think, about 250, even though the frames are only 130. Now, that's fine. That's all fine and dandy. 2 weeks pass, because they said it takes 2 weeks to have them made. And then I get a message saying, we've lost your glasses. Can you come in again and repick your frames? So already I'm like, what is going on? So I have to go back to the optician, pick my frames again, and then they send those off, and then 2 weeks later, which was Thursday last week, I finally got these glasses, and that is this. And they have like a gimmick that they do, and they keep pretending this is a really cool gimmick, right? So what they do is this. The arms of the glasses are, they're on like weird kind of hinges, and they can bend in any direction. And that's their gimmick. That is the gimmick they have. And they were very insistent that I was... Oh, they're really good glasses because they bend everywhere. And I was like, how is that helpful unless I exactly sit on them in such a specific way that they wouldn't just snap anyway? I don't know. It's a weird one. But that was that. Also, I suppose if we go back to big screen again real quick, you might notice there is some red across my head. And if I turn my head this way, you probably notice there's some red here as well. I was out in the sun all day Saturday. And that is because I went to the Chili Cheese Festival. So I went to a Chili Cheese Festival, which basically meant being out in the sun for, I don't know, 5-6 hours. It was cool. It was nice going to a festival. I like chili. I like cheese. I mean, who doesn't like chili? Who doesn't like cheese? So I went there. I got sunburnt. I got some hot sauce. It was a good time. And I got to hang out with some friends. And that is basically my weekend. So now that you're all caught up, now it's time to actually talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be on the agenda today. Don't think they will. And they won't, because World is August 28-30. I don't know what you mean by that. Obviously, you mean that the World Championship is going to be on August 28th, but I don't know why that means they wouldn't release a box before that. That just seems kind of silly. They said products before August 6th, and main box is 28th of July. Surely they plan something to release early August. It would have to be very early August, though, right? That's the thing. That is the thing. But I guess we'll hop into that first, because that seems to be what people are like interested in right now. So we do have the World Championship, and everyone's excited for the World Championship. It's going to be a good one. So if we take a look at the rush, August 28th, 2026. Okay, so effectively 22 days after the cutoff point is when Worlds is going to be. So 3 weeks, right? Just over 3 weeks. The main tournament first stage will be comprised of 3 rounds played in Swiss format. This means players with similar results DP will be pitted against each other in their next matches. The winner of each round will be determined best of 5. So this is exactly the same so far as it has been every year. Once deck is used, it cannot be reused. Exactly the same. During each round, you'll be awarded 3 DP for it, exactly the same. The top 4 players after 3 rounds of advanced, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Nothing there looks any different at all. Hello, Hidden Bankai. Welcome, welcome. Infernity Tier 0 soon, trust. Maybe. I know people really like Infernity, so we'll take a look at it. We're definitely going to have a look at all the leaks as we go through. Who Tomato betting on to win Rush Worlds? Ooh, that is a question. Alright, I want, obviously, one of my teammates to win. So I want Parko or Giorfio to win. Now, if you were to ask me who I want to win out of those two, I don't think I could pick. Like, they're so different, right? Parko is like rags to riches. Kind of came out of nowhere. Just plays a crap ton of Rush. Like, really likes the format. Got good at it. Has made it to Worlds now 3 times, right? Giorfio's been around a lot longer. He's already been to Worlds for speed in the past. So he's already sort of a veteran. And it would be nice to see him, you know, all of this hard work that he's been putting in all this time, like, to finally pay off for him to actually win a World Championship. Parko has been, like, progressively getting better each year. So in the first year, he didn't make top 4. Then in the second year, he made top 4. Giorfio made top 4 and then top 4. So Giorfio, I would say, hasn't necessarily improved, but has been very consistent. Parko has been getting better each year, right? So that's how I would, like, compare the two of them. So if you're going by that kind of narrative, that kind of storyline, then Parko theoretically has the highest potential to improve, which means, yeah, that could be exciting. But also, I would really like to see Giorfio in because I think he deserves it, right? Hello, Hit. Welcome, welcome. Had I designed the Infernity skill, we would be in for a ride. Parko for the win. Hey, hey, hello, Corey as well. Welcome, welcome. We Parko Wako of the Taco. Gojo versus Sukuna. Giorfio versus Parko. Giorfio versus Parko grand final would be peak. I would love that so much. I'm trying to remember who else is actually in. If we get this back up. Does this tell us the players that have qualified? Is that on here yet? Or is that not? I don't know if they've, like, had to send their pictures off yet. By the look of it, probably not. Because usually they have, like, their mugshots. But it looks like it's probably not up yet. Might still be a bit early. I don't know if it will say in game or not. But. I don't remember everyone else that is qualified off the top of my head. I think Moki Moki qualified this year, if I remember correctly. But Moki Moki was one of the favorites going into the first Rush World Championship, and then absolutely shit the bed on his day 1. Like, he lost, like, all of his games, which was very disappointing. I am scared of Tax Dragon Blackwing. So Blackwing has, like, a similar sort of thing, right? But my issue is, I played a lot of Edison, and, you know, just the game when Edison was just Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of that, I know a lot of the old Blackwing cards. I don't know any of the modern support. Like, I know literally none of the modern support, so... Me trust. Exactly, a human's got this. So let's say 5 ticks go... Right. Let's look at this quick. 2 semi-finals, 1 final. Again, this is exactly the same. So let's have a look at the deck rules. Follow the Forbidden Limited list as of July 31st. So if there is going to be a new Forbidden Limited list, it has to come out... Well, it says effective as of. So I assume if there's going to be a new one, then they have to have it come out on July 31st, right? Duelists cannot use any new cards, characters, and skills scheduled to be added after August 6th. So this is where we're like, if we are going to get a new box, it has to come out August 6th or before, right? It has to come out then. It's better than Tax Dragon in a way, 600. Isn't the easy fix to that just to make both of them limit 1 and then you can't play both? Or are you just worried about their Tax Dragon card rather than stacking them? There were some changes in the number of shared cards between decks and Master Duel, at least. I don't know if the other modes got changed. We'll have a look at it as we get through here, right? 5 decks, each of which for different character and skill. At least 3 decks must have Legendary. So it's exactly the same as last year. 3 Legendary, 2 Archive. Duelists can only have up to 3 copies in total of each card across all decks. Duelists can have up to 1 copy in total of each Legend 1 card across all of their decks, and up to 2 copies in total of each of their limit 2 cards. Why did I say Legend? It's just limit 1. So, yeah, I think that's exactly the same. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the same as last year. Cards you can only obtain 1 or 2 copies of in-game can be included up to that number of times because that's exactly the same. Duelists can have up to 3 copies in total of each Legend card, with a maximum of 1 per deck. However, if a Legend card is limit 1 and limit 2... Was that the same or is that new? I can't remember if that was different last year. This might be exactly the same. I'm trying to remember. I think this was exactly the same, but all of the good Legends for like the last several years have all been limit 1. So it's just meant that you only get to play 1 anyway. Can't summon itself back, but very easy to summon. Well, at least Assault Dragon is actually burns, so it'll be more likely to get nerfed. Well, there you go then. That's at least something, right? Because if it goes down to 300, then it's just worse Tax Dragon. What weekday did you say the Shady Box released, since it was the last possible day? We can have a look. We can have a look. So it came out on the 1st of the 8th. So there's 2 different ways I could look this up. I'm just going to do this. 1st of August 2025 day. Let's see if the Google will tell me that. It was a Friday. So it was a Friday when the Forbidden Fantastic Show box released, which makes it a bit bigger. It's a bit easier for you to see. So this came out on the 1st of April. But the thing to remember is the other dates don't line up neatly. So Destructive Explosion came out on the 6th of July, whereas the box before this, if I can find it, came out on the 27th of June. So what that means is it came out, what would that be, 3 days before the end of June. So it came out 3 days plus... It came out 9 days later, which means if we were expecting this to follow the same cadence, this would have to come out on the 10th of August, which obviously is unlikely because, one, the 10th of August is a Monday, which I guess Monday's like not the end of the world to release a box, but it is a bit weird. It is a bit weird no matter like how you slice it. I don't think you would do double Assault Dragon because board breakers are so common. I mean, potentially, but also they might just limit it. That would be like the easy way to fix it if they're worried about it. Corey just subscribed for 10 months. Thank you, Corey. Always a pleasure.
Cornoa Kuma 666 just subscribed with pride.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. But it is interesting. It is interesting. I mean, my hope is we get a new mini box for Worlds, because like, right, but effectively, potentially we have this ban list that's going to be coming out, right, on the July 31st. So potentially we have a new ban list. I would expect one, and then this is going to be just like the last thing we get before Worlds. Now, I would like to see Worm get hit, but not, like, I don't think they would hit it too much. I think they would literally be like, let's just gently nudge it down, right? I don't think they're going to be like, get out the hammer, smash, smash, smash. I think what they're more likely to do is just gently hit something in the Worm deck. I think they still want it to be at Worlds. They still want it to be the best deck. They don't want it to be almost a tier 0 deck, right? So I think they will do something small. I was surprised by a random ad and had to resub. Those pesky ads. Has anyone, by the way, have you seen those ads that puts like a vertical ad on your Twitch and it kind of like squishes the stream and then just gives you this like silent vertical ad next to it? It's weird. I don't hate it though. I much prefer that to like a full screen ad that overtakes everything. Watch it be the first Stardust hit level of the ban list. It'll be funny. Are they going to make it so we can't play the maximum in the skill anymore? I mean, I don't want that. Like I said, I think the issue you have with Worms is just everything is too simple. Everything is too easy to pull off. What I still think I want to see is change the skill so that you cannot search maximum pieces and Build Dragoon. That's the only thing I want changed. Because Build Dragoon is so important for that deck, right? If you can't play Build Dragoon, and at the very least, if you cannot use the little maximum pieces. So for example, if they changed it so that you could only use Fireworms, that would remove the maximum. But also it removes Build Dragoon. It removes the little worm pieces to tribute for Build Dragoon. And that is so integral to how the deck works. If you just remove Build Dragoon from that deck, it is now garbage. If you now remove the little maximum pieces from that deck, it's now annoying to do any kind of plays. I still think it's fine. The pain in the arse is both the equip spell which the equip spell itself isn't actually the problem, but it is annoying. So what I would do, either... Alright. The more I think about it, the more I kind of want the maximum piece, the equip spell, both of those to limit 1. I don't hate that. The reason why is I think the deck is strong enough, you don't need to give them Pot of Greed. Right? It doesn't need Pot of Greed. The deck is fine. It's really strong. Why does the best deck in the game have the best legends in the game? It doesn't need it. Second, the maximum middle piece isn't necessary for the strategy to function, right? You need the little pieces. You need Build Dragoon. Having the maximum middle piece just allows you to make sometimes a better board against specific decks, and it can be an annoying sort of towers for your opponent to deal with. And the only real annoying bit, in my opinion, is when you go maximum plus equip spell. And the main reason that is annoying is because you can search all of that. You can search the equip spell. You can search all 3 maximum pieces. So, like, the skill just does it all. It just lets you go. It goes, oh, you want a towers? Yeah, give me 2 turns, bro. I've got you. And it just gives you the whole towers for free. Just because of the yellow button. Which, I don't know. It's a weird one. But yeah, I don't want to see Worm, like, gone. I just don't want Worm to do absolutely everything off the back of yellow button. Because, I don't know. I like consistency, but there's such a thing as too much consistency, you know? I hope not. Same, I love the mixing of both types of the deck. I like that it's both a maximum and a fusion deck. So, I don't mind the maximum. But the issue is, it's maximum plus the equip spell. Now, the thing is, if you were, I think, to put the middle maximum piece and the equip spell both to 1, part of me feels like what most players would do is they would just play Pot of Greed. They'd just be like, yeah, we're doing it together. Limit 1, both the field spell and the equip spell. That is one of the worst things I think they could do. I do not see many benefits out of that. Also, hello, Monos. We'll do an exclamation mark mono in the chat. Let me read up the chat before my knee-jerk reaction, my first impression is that sounds awful. But I'm gonna read the reasoning, and then we'll ruminate, we'll think about it, right? What if you just can't maximum summon? You get locked out of it. I don't mind the maximum. The only annoying bit is the maximum plus equip spell. That is the annoying bit. Hear me out. They released the Darkness card just before Worlds. I personally, I would like that. Obviously, it's really good, but I would like that, like, thematically. But I think we kind of already know what cards we're getting with the rerun of Asana's event. Just make it so you can only play Fireworms. Again, Hidden Bankai, that kills the deck. That literally kills the deck. That makes the deck unplayable. If you can't gain the value from Build Dragoon, the deck is garbage. Because now you have to invest too many resources and you can't make a board that does anything. Like, it's just not worth playing. Alright, let's see what Mono's saying. Why not just limit the monsters the skill can search to level 4 or lower? That is fine, Hit. But you can still search out the maximum pieces. So what that now means is, if you draw the middle maximum piece, which again, you could just play 3 copies of if you really wanted to, you could still just search the other 2 maximum pieces. So that doesn't super help, but that does mean Build Dragoon becomes a lot more useful, because if you have a Build Dragoon in hand, you can now search out the little maximum pieces, summon them out and use them as tribute fodder. Because you need the boss to fusion. Yeah, exactly as Mono's saying. So Mono was saying, limit 1, the field spell and the equip spell. Alright, let's try and think about what that means. We can't play the good equip spell with the field spell. Now the question then becomes, because of how the deck actually has been performing, how much do you actually rely on that other field spell? I guess the logic is, we would take piercing away from the maximum. I mean, that's not awful. You'd have no way to search a way to give the maximum away to actually kill your opponent, so it would just be this big annoying thing that's just kind of in the way. I still don't really like that. Just because, like, I feel like there should be a way to play both the field spell and the equip spell. Like, that is how the deck is supposed to function. And the maximum shouldn't be the thing that stops you from doing that cool combo, right? So I think, if anything, we should hurt the maximum more than we should hurt the field spell. But, again. Hey, Tomato, going over the New World's rules. Hello, JD Scrub. Yes, we're talking about the New World's rules. We're talking, at the moment, about how, potentially, we could see Worms hit on this potential ban list that we're going to be getting on the July 31st. Hello, Whistling Bird. Hello, hello. Happy Tomato Day. Yes, tomorrow will be the Tomato Day. Today is the Tomato Day Eve. If Maximum got no piercing, people would not complain as much. Right. So, first things first. The actual OP part of the deck is not the Maximum. That's the annoying bit of the deck, but the bit that actually kills you doesn't involve the Maximum at all, right? Because what you do is that, like, the ultimate disgusting kill your opponent in one turn play is entirely build Dragoon into Barkama, like dangerous Barkama. That play is what wins games. That is the primary strategy the deck has. The Maximum is kind of a side tangent that a lot of people find annoying because they're playing bad decks that either don't have outs to it, because they're playing their, like, rogue decks that just can't deal with it, or because people are turboing it out and then you just have to find, because some decks it's easier than others to deal with it, right? Some decks you just kind of have to just draw the good stuff, otherwise you can't deal with it. Now, if we take away the piercing from it, yes, now that card is basically pointless. So there's no reason to play the Maximum, because why would you go into this, like, annoying card that just can't get out with if you can't actually close the game? So now you're just giving your opponent infinite turns to find a way to deal with it. Which is, like, that's kind of fine. On the same time, that just creates a stall strategy where your opponent now just has to go defensive till they find a way to beat it, and you now go defensive until you find Build Dragoon and then your fusion play. Because all you have to do is use it as an MST. Like, let's say, like, you summon it out, you don't have piercing, you pop one of your opponent's back row. Your opponent's turn, they set a bunch of cards because they can't out it. Then your turn comes back, you MST them again by just using the Maximum's effect to pop a back row. Then you tribute it for Build Dragoon effect, go into Dangerous Barkama, pop 2, and then we just kill our opponent anyway. So, fundamentally, I don't think it would matter. And I think the most annoying part of it is just the equip spell and not so much the piercing. The piercing, again, is like, in my mind, the piercing is like the third most annoying thing. The equip spell is like the second most annoying thing, and then the Maximum itself is the first most annoying thing. So, like, it comes down to how they want to approach it. But, I mean, for me personally, I still think the Maximum is just not the issue. Like, in terms of, from a competitive standpoint of how is the deck winning games, how is the deck becoming this, like, unstoppable monster, it's entirely off the back of Build Dragoon into Dangerous Barkama. So, if we actually wanted to nerf the deck, I feel like you have to address that, which is why the change that I want to implement makes it so you can't search Build Dragoon, but you can still play it, and you can't search the little Maximum pieces, but you can still play them. Which, effectively, the ceiling remains basically exactly the same. But now you don't have the consistency to just do that every game without fail, because all you have to do effectively is just open one of the skill targets, one of the 6 skill triggers, and then you're good to go, right? Off to the races. What worm field spells are we talking about? So we're talking about limiting the Autumn Leaves, the piercing one, but then theoretically you don't need to run it, right? So if you had just like another field spell, you could still make the Maximum. You could still make the Maximum unable to be destroyed by battle and unable to be destroyed by card effects, which I think is still very annoying. I think you'd better off, if you're gonna try to address that, you're better off hitting the Maximum or the equip spell rather than trying to mess with the field spell, right? Delete all Maximum cards. There's 0 Maximum plan. I mean, we've got a couple of Maximums still yet to come, Serena. We don't actually have that many. We got a decent chunk, but not like too many. I can't out the max most of the time. Tomato calling me bad at Rush Duel. Yes, you are very bad at Rush Duel, human, because you haven't won a tournament in ages. If you haven't won a tournament, then you must be bad. That's just how statistics work, right? So Worm is still the tournament problem child. Worm is very, very powerful. It goes without saying, Worm is like the best deck in the game. Now, some people are saying it's tier 0. Some people are saying it's just like a really strong tier 1. Regardless, no matter who you talk to, no one will dispute it is the best deck in the game. It is winning almost all the tournaments. It's lost one tournament, and that was to Dark Magician, which was wild, the fact that it even lost that in the first place. But the deck is just unbelievably powerful. Hello, Dwan. Welcome, welcome. Maximum is never the issue. It's the yellow button, as always. Yes. So the problem is, if we hit just the consistency, like I said, if we just hit the yellow button so that you have to search exactly 400 defense, for example, right? Then it becomes weird because you could still reach that same ceiling. So now, when you do that, it's just going to be, well, he just got lucky. Which also has its own, like, negative connotation to it, but... hello, Voltalon as well. Restrict the Fire Worm would have been fine. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Do you actually think, Vol, that the deck would have been good if they took Build Dragoon out of the deck? When Build Dragoon is, like, in my opinion, the strongest card in that deck. Because, like, the second you remove Build Dragoon, it then becomes so much harder to make a play, because you have to invest so many cards. So, think about it like this, right? If we didn't have Build Dragoon, we now can't fuse from hand. That means we have to summon Barkhammer onto the field. So, you know, summon, Tribute 2, Barkhammer, summon out Helmet, activate Fusion Spell. Skill gives us a +1. So now, we spent 5 cards to make Dangerous Barkhammer, and we have 1 card left over. Which, I don't know. To me, that just seems like it's too much of an investment to be worth it. Whereas, as it currently stands, we spend so few cards and do so much with it and end up with a really big board. Our limit to Fireworm is actually fine. I played with Fusion Gate on release with pure Fireworm and still can do some OTK. I don't... I haven't seen that, but on paper, it sounds terrible. Maximum is kind of the issue, though, because if they see any trap delay, they can just go for max and set their own traps. I mean, yeah, they absolutely can. Fusion Gate play is 100% more interesting than Build Dragoon play. It is so repetitive. Yeah, but again, the problem is the game is so fast right now that if we're spending turns setting up plays, at what point is it just too slow to be competitive, right? Probably would have been fine. You just end up running 3 Dragoon. Yeah, but you're gonna have to specify what you mean then, because you said restrict to Fireworm would have been fine. So in my mind, I took that as the skill now says you can only play Fireworms, which means you wouldn't be able to play Build Dragoon. Because you're saying play Build Dragoon, I assume we're saying instead we change the skill to only search Fireworms. In which case, that's fine. I think that would be fine. That is effectively doing exactly the same as what I was saying about changing the skill. There's no way Worms would be good without Build Dragoon and Maximums. Like what? Way too resource expensive. I mean, but again, I think we're just getting crosswise. I think it was just crosswise there. Hello, Luis Fernando. Dragon is the gear of the deck. Worms will be so ass without Dragon. Dragon is the heart of the deck. We got to make sure you put an extra O in there as well, Luis. Because we understand what you're saying, but Build Dragon and Build Dragoon are 2 different cards. They might confuse some people. What we just decided to make Worm. Oh, I meant lock the skill search to Fireworm. Yeah, I typed that in response to you saying that. But yeah, the main issue is I rant a lot. I'll just like yap about nothing for ages, and then I'll catch up with the chat later. So if you're responding to things I'm saying immediately, I'll lose the context. It's entirely my problem. My fault, either. It's entirely my fault. But yeah, I mean, yeah, effectively, I think that's fine. If we really, really want to hurt the deck in such a way where you say, could you please stop putting the equip spell on the maximum? Just, in my opinion, just put the maximum middle piece and put the equip spell on 1. I don't necessarily think you need to do that, but I think that's fine. I think most people would probably just play Pot of Greed. Some people would still play the middle maximum piece. I don't think anyone would play just the equip. Would you play just the equip? I don't think you play the equip over Pot of Greed, and I don't think you play the equip over the middle maximum piece. I think you would just immediately swap to one of those two. Part of me thinks you would just play Pot of Greed, because you don't need the middle maximum piece. Like, it's obviously really good. It gives you, like, diversity in your plays. It gives you an extra avenue you can go down. And against some decks, going for that play is just better. But Pot of Greed is Pot of Greed. I think I would play the middle maximum piece. Because Pot of Greed is, like, it's good. But you can, right now, if they don't change the skill, right? If they didn't change the skill, if they just gave the limit ones, you could still search the middle maximum piece, which just gives it so much value. Is there any other skill that can search every monster in your deck? Now, Dwan, we can't search every monster. We can only search the low-level monsters that have 400 defense or less, which means there is a tiny amount of cards we cannot search. And most of them we aren't even playing anyway. I think they'd still be pretty bad with the skill unable to search Build Dragoon and Maximus, to be honest. Right, so the difference is you would just have to maximize all of it, right? So now you just have to play 3 of each of the little max pieces, which I think a lot of people were doing anyway, but now you would have to. And you'd have to play 3 copies of Build Dragoon. If you do that, I think it suddenly becomes still tier 1, but not the ridiculous, unbeatable tier 1 that it sort of is at the moment, right? Or again, if people want to call it tier 0, tier 0. Field and equip to 1. Again, we were already talking about that. I think that's stupid. I really don't think field and equip to 1 is good. In my mind, that doesn't solve the problem. All you're doing is putting a band-aid fix on the problem. Like, if there is a problem we have deemed needs solving, solve it, right? Don't half-ass it. Don't, you know, let's not pussyfoot around the problem. Just deal with it, right? I don't like the idea of being like, oh, it's okay for you to have your towers as long as your towers can't kill me over 2 turns. It's like, no, just don't let them have the towers if we're worried about towers. Also, I like how we said, don't kill the Worm deck when Worm already killed so many deck diversity. But again, it's the problem of the Worm deck is really cool. It's a fun deck to play. It's just overtuned. So if we just murder it, it'll be like Gaia all over again, where like people liked playing Gaia, even though Gaia Matarian was basically an entirely one deck format. People still enjoyed playing it because the deck was fun. So when it got absolutely murdered, a lot of people were upset about it because the deck was genuinely fun to play. Yeah, they rarely kill you because of the field and equip. Exactly. The reason you die is Dragoon into Dangerous, right? Dragoon Dangerous is the OTK. Put yellow button and equip to 1. I don't hate the idea of putting skills on the limit list, but I don't think they're going to. I think if they were going to do that, they would treat it like archive skills, where they would wait for a world update, like a massive big deal update, and then introduce something big like that with that. But I don't think they would. Because it kind of would be breaking new ground for them, right? The problem is the Fireworm player having access to another character's ace and can search it with their skill. But the whole point of the way that the deck was designed, and the whole point of Build Dragoon, is it is supposed to be those 2 decks combined. That is the way that the decks were designed to be made. Like, Build Dragoon is a OCG exclusive, right? It was not used in the anime. For obvious reasons. But it is designed, it came out with Dangerous Bakuma. It was designed to be played with it. I just put yellow button to the trash bin. I mean, I don't think that's happening. Don't kill worms. I doubt people are enjoying, to be honest. Sack said he's playing worms so he can be done with it 5 minutes. The thing is, you've got to take your prejudice out, right? People don't like playing the best deck in the game because it's the best deck in the game. Not because they don't like the deck. In general, people don't like being called a meta slave. People don't like it when they're told, oh, you only won that tournament because you're playing the best deck, right? People like being the snowflakes. People like playing the weird decks. So, like, that's fine. But to be like, oh, the deck is just, like, not fun, I think that is just, that's your own prejudice being brought into it. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with that statement straight up. I think the Asura Star normal monster would have been a really funny hit. Oh, the Sword Dancer? I mean, Sword Dancer would have been funny. They should let Gavin search Pyromax. I mean, the difference there is the decks don't have any kind of synergy at all, right? Like, obviously, you know, you're just memeing, right? Because we threw the Kappa in there. But at the same time, I get what we're talking about, but I think that there are some decks that should have some crossover and some that shouldn't, right? I think Worm will just get power crept, to be honest. Like most likely they want Worm at Worlds. Yeah, I mean, I want Worm at Worlds. Worm is still a cool deck. It's just overtuned. I just want it tuned, right? More power creep, exactly what the card game needs. What a sad sight. Why are we hitting Sword Dancer again? It was back when we were talking about potential hits to nerf Gaia Matarian. One of the things that Quantum floated around was putting Sword Dancer to 1 or to 2 to have it conflict with something that was in the deck. I can't remember exactly what it was. Give Gavin his boss unlimited. I should have specified. I meant back during the Gaia. If the deck can play it, I guess it's not making the Earth stuff searchable is step 1. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I think, again, if you just... In my mind, there's nothing wrong with Worms being the best deck. The problem is by how much are they the best deck, right? I think if we nerf the skill a bit, we could bring them down to at least the power level of everything else, even if it's still the best deck. I just don't want it to be the only thing winning tournaments, right? What Konami should do is release Digimon Elysian. Ooh, I don't think we want Konami releasing that, though. If we could get, like, Bandai to release that, that would be great. Konami. I don't want them touching any of my other card games. The only deck that should be able to search max pieces is Abyskite. Definitely not biased. It's a weird one. I think they allow the searching of max pieces because it's an ancient maximum. So in a lot of ways, it should be quite weak. But because they also gave us a field spell that gives it piercing, suddenly it's like very much playable. And actually pretty good. So it's like, it's created a really weird situation. Where, do you want any deck to be able to search maximum pieces? I don't know. It's a strange one. If you're playing a maximum deck, your entire strategy is get the maximum out. And Duel Links is a game where fundamentally the skill and the way that you build decks is in such a way that you should always get your strategy going. The problem is when your strategy is one big guy, sometimes it creates weird issues, especially because we don't really have the good trap cards to deal with maximums right now. Like, we've literally just gotten Shady. Well, I say just got Shady. Shady came out a year ago at this point. We have Shady, and we have Star Pro, neither of which do anything to maximums. Well, I guess there are a couple of maximums that can attack multiple times, but... Good thing Konami is not the one doing it. Exactly. Digimon Up is crying in the corner. Digimon Up, right? So just right. I'll give you a little snippet. Look what I'm doing right now in the background. Digimon Up is just ticking away. I don't know how I feel about Digimon Up. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Digimon Up is a weird one where I think some of it's really cool and some of it is awful, and we'll get to that when we get to it. But we'll finish yapping about this first. Yeah. So. Long story short, to abbreviate what we've just spoke about, I think, for me, the most important thing is changing the skill to change what it can search, and 100% do not let it search maximum pieces. Part 2, I would say, do not... If we're super worried about the tower's maximum, just put the middle piece of the maximum, because no one's playing more than one copy of it anyway, to 1, and put the equip spell to 1. If you want to deal with it, that is how I would deal with it. I don't think you need anything more than that. I don't think they're going to do anything more than that. I think that would be fine. Tomato, add me. I mean, I don't even know how to add people. We'll get to that in a minute. What about Digimon Down? Digimon Down coming soon, TM, is going to be fantastic. It's going to be the best game, I believe. I heard enough. Release Magic Cylinder, problem solved. The thing is, you release Magic Cylinder and Worm Excavator just goes, and I'll pop that one. And then nothing happens. So it doesn't even help. It might not help, right? I should have been Vital Bracelet for mobile. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Hidden Bankai. Should we get Sunset Rebirth if worms aren't nerfed? Ooh, that's a spicy one. We've been talking about Sunset Rebirth for like literal months at this point, as it's kind of, I think, the next trap card that we could bring out. I don't dislike that. Because, alright, Sunset Rebirth helps deal with worms a lot, because it means that you can't pop the face-down monsters, and you could also protect your back row, so that Excavator can't just pop your back row willy-nilly. The question still becomes, at what point... So the game, basically, it feels like since Dark Galaxy Contact came out, that's when I started really noticing it, has been a trap card arms race, right? And what I mean by that is, it has been race to get to your trap cards as soon as possible, and then whoever runs out of traps first loses. Which is fine. Like, that's not inherently, like, bad, but it feels bad to be able to boil the game down to that a lot of the time. Because we got to the stage where, as soon as Dark Galaxy Contact came out, it felt like the meta, in a lot of ways, was my deck, as long as it is a, like, strong meta contender, the goal of it is to kill you on turn 2. And my deck can just do that. So obviously Dark Galaxy Contact could do that. At the time, Gradius was very, very good at doing that. Obviously it can still do that now, but it's a bit harder. But we had decks that could just kill you on turn 2. Now, Dark Galaxy Contact did it a little bit easier than Gradius, I would say. Gradius had to spin a lot of plates, and they had to make sure they had a good hand. Dark Galaxy Contact could kind of just wing it and usually just kill on turn 2. But obviously they had Chrysio at the time. Now we have replaced that with Worms. Worms also can just threaten to kill you on turn 2, and it's a bit awkward. So because of that, you're now saying, if you're going first, you really, really want to open a trap card that can save you. Now, fortunately, either of the good traps right now will save you, right? If you open Shady, it will save you as long as your opponent doesn't pop your Shady. And if you open Star Pro, again, will make it so you cannot die on your opponent's first turn, so on the second turn of the game. So that's fine and dandy. So already, it feels like we need to just race to trap cards and not run out first. And then if we throw Sunset into the mix, it gives us more trap cards to find. Because theoretically, you could play, like, I don't know, I don't think you would, but you could play 3 Shady, you could play 3 Sunset, you could play 3 Star Pro. Already, we've seen people drop Star Pro, so that wouldn't actually matter, but we're just spitballing here, right? So, by doing that, you would have 9 cards to be able to dig through your deck 4, which means the likelihood that you open a trap card would be much higher. But then you go, alright, I'm going to use Sunset to protect my other trap cards and a monster, let's say. And now, you've now protected your, let's say... But even that, like, protecting your back row wouldn't do much against Worm, because they're all playing Primal Howl. Which, like, immediately stifles that a little bit, because it gets around. So now you would have to use Star Pro to protect your monsters, which basically now just means that the field spell Autumn Leaves gains a lot more value, because now you know you can't pop their monsters, so you're just going to try and summon a bigger board as possible with a bunch of piercing and slam into them, which I guess is fine. But it's funny that Worm always has a way around it. Like, no matter how I think about it, I'm like, yeah, Worm could get around that. Worm could get around that. Wait, are we doing speed leaks today? Digimon left and right. Yeah, we're going to be doing our speed leaks once we get through this. Will come in a selection. I hope not, but... I mean, it's already weird we haven't had a selection yet, so we could definitely get a selection if they want to. Having to save the game, Dominus Spark for selection box. I'd expect Sunset Rebirth to be limit 2. Limit 2 is a weird number, though, because it would then clash with some, like, very specific things. Unless you also start putting other stuff to limit 2, I don't really think you'd need it. If anything, I think you put it to 3. Because then you basically tell people you can't play Sunset with Star Pro. But even then, I don't know if that really matters. Rebirth will make Trap Pigeon the best deck. I've read the trap, and I think there is a world where this trap could make Worms even better. I mean, yeah, Worms already play the back row hate that gets rid of it, that deals with it already, right? So, like, it's a weird one. Is this the world Seven's Gears appears is the real question? No. We already know that's not happening, because we've already had our campaign. It's already come and gone. But, regardless, I am curious to see if we actually do get a product on August 6th. It's a weird one. Usually products release on... I'm trying to think what days products usually release on. Like, usually it's like Fridays, I think. But, I mean, I don't even know if that's actually true. I don't keep track of the days so much as the dates. And I can't be asked to go and look them all up. Sunset needs to be the same limit as Shady, or the rage will be immeasurable. What, because you can protect your Shady? Is that the logic? Like, I protect my Shady? Now try and summon into me? Sevens is the rush card for 10th anniversary, Sevens Gears. Maybe potentially. Regardless, I really don't know what we're gonna do. I think we should expect a ban list in 10 days. And I think... Oh, it can't be, right? It would have to be now. Right? Because it has to come out 2 weeks in advance, which means we're not going to get a ban list, right? I'm trying to, like, play through the scenario in my head. Is it the current ban list that's been announced is going to come out, is going to be live? No, because the ban list is going to be live on the 27th. There's no way they do another one before then. So it's just the ban list we have now, I think, is all we're going to have. Unless they do, like, an emergency one, which seems weird. Yeah, probably aren't. Deck build on the 6th. Let's go. Hello, Brad. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, no extra ban list. Last year's deck build was on the exact cutoff date. So at best, we get a deck build with no skills leaked. It would solely be supporting existing themes. I think that makes sense. But it is a bit sad because I don't know. I feel like I can't think of cards they could release to make Worms any worse. I suppose being one really, really strong deck for specifically the Worlds format doesn't really matter that much because it's still only 20% of the decks you're playing. So maybe that just doesn't matter too much specifically for Worlds. It just means that for our tournaments and ladder play, it's going to be a bit shit for a while. Surely they'll remember speed deck builds exist too, right? No, Serena. See, speed deck builds don't exist. They can't hurt you. Alright, release the Worm Killer Konami. Who is it? I mean, I don't know what you could release to make Worms feel... Like, again, we were talking about Sunset, but Sunset isn't even that bad for Worms. I suppose... At the very least, you force Worms to not be able to kill you in a single turn? Are Worms playing any limit 3s? I don't think they are. Because if they're not, theoretically, you could just start playing Star Pro and Worms. Because the way Worm is right now, Shady is giga value if it lands, but you won't always land it, right? Because your opponent could play Star Pro, not Star Pro, your opponent could play Howling, or they could play the Maximum Poppet before they go into their OTK play. So, like, if you're just really like, I just need to survive turn 2, maybe Star Pro would be better, but you're always losing like over half your life points. So as soon as you take just a chunk, you're just going to die the following turn anyway. So it's... I imagine the only ban list we could get would have been an emergency ban list, some stupid consistent FTK. Yeah. Gone like pickup boxes. What even is a pickup box? Nobody knows. The real strat for Worlds is just bring 4 decks that are good versus almost everything, even if they lose to Worms. I mean, yeah. Like, you need to have a diverse pool of decks that can win no matter what matchup you're put into, because you don't know what matchup you're going to be put into. In my mind, I almost feel like Worms is a free win. Right? Like, if your Worm game, your Worm is going to win. So... all you do is try and get value out of making your worm beat their second best deck and make their worm beat your fifth best deck. So then it becomes like, how do you try and mind game to get the right matchups? And then when you get a worm mirror, it's just toss a coin. Because like the worm mirror is basically just who resolves more back row wins. Riser bundle? Do you want Riser, Mono? Like, is Riser... The thing is, half the decks don't work with Riser because they have skill restrictions. So, what we're then saying is, you want Riser to be played in the decks that don't have skill restrictions, so like 4D and stuff? I mean, 4D with Riser would be really cool. Suddenly that gives that deck a lot more teeth, because it's just another way to get something out of the way. Don't give worm players ideas. Well, it's something you can do against worms as well. You don't have to do it specifically for the mirror. Pickup box is like reprints, came out during the first Predaplant box for limited time. No, they don't exist, Bankai. They don't exist. We're not talking about fairy tales here. Crossing Darkness is the name of the pickup box. That's not a thing. That's not a thing, Hidden Bankai. Come on. They don't exist. Sky Savior can play Riser. I mean, would you want to? 4D can play it. Monarch Return. So I don't like Monarchs. I think Monarchs is not a fun deck. I say that. I don't think Monarch in OCG is fun. I've played Monarchs a couple times in OCG and not really enjoyed it. Whereas I think Monarchs in Duel Links was kind of fun. But I suppose it just comes down to, like, tastes, right? Like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you guys won't like it. They should have killed D-Hero in Speed. I assume we're talking about the current D-Hero, which is basically just spamming floodgates. Don't you just love it when hero, like, no matter what hero deck you're playing, it always boils down to let's just spam floodgates. But regardless, these rules don't look any different, so this is going to be basically exactly the same. So with that said and done, I guess we'll have a quick peek over here since we haven't looked at the spreadsheet in a while. So these are our current tournament results. A lot of worm, guys. There's a lot of worm going on. I don't know what happened here, guys. Quantum Rush 114. Quantum is just not beating the allegations of being the meme tournament. I mean, this was a cool final. I think it was Dwan playing DG Contact. I don't know who was playing DM. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's interesting that DM got second place, DM got first place, DM got top 4. It's been doing well. Elite heroes. Heroes are always spamming floodgates. It's so funny as well, because heroes shouldn't be a floodgate deck, but it just is. It just is. I did see a D-Hero list in OCG with the new support. I'm shocked I didn't see a floodgate in the list. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did it play Darklaw? You know it's playing Darklaw. First, how is it not playing Darklaw? I don't believe you. Don't believe you. Darklaw. You can't play without Darklaw. I got lucky that my worm opponents didn't draw that many traps in that tournament. I mean, it's still been doing well, though. Even when you... Or for this one. For the Dark Galaxy Contact one, you still obviously had to go through a bit of a gauntlet to get there. And a win is a win is a win, still. Especially if it's like you beat a worm player to get there and he got unlucky, that's one thing. If you beat like 3 worm players back to back to back and all of them failed to draw their trap cards, that's a skill issue, right? Jaden approves of floodgates is canon. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Although Jaden did historically beat Monarch players, so I don't think he approves of Monarch players. So with that all said and done, let's hop back over to... We'll talk a little bit about speed. We'll talk a little bit about speed, guys. I know some people don't care about speed, but this is really interesting. Val Monica, what's going on here? Val Monica... People said when this deck was first coming out, this was a meme deck. People were like, no, this is going to be bad. Bam. Tier 1. Bam. Best deck in the game. Stardust. Eat your heart out. There we go. Jaden is schizophrenic. Kind of. In a weird way. Stardust still tier 1. Baby. Exactly. This is the hit, right? This kind of situation is what I would like to see for Worms. It stays tier 1. It stays relevant. It's now not the only deck at the top. That's what I want. Sky Savior and Worm are good decks to bring to Worlds. I don't know how I feel about Sky Savior for World specifically. Sky Savior has a lot of very bad matchups and a couple of very good ones. So I think you could take Sky Savior if you have the read. People are going to be on the decks that Sky Savior is quite good into, but then you still have to get into those matchups, which I just don't know if it's worth taking Sky Savior for that, because a lot of the time Sky Savior can be a little bit underwhelming. But hello, Pokemaster Ian, welcome. Pen Bros, I love Val. I hate Valmonica. We've literally got Marmite here. Valmonica is the Marmite deck. We have found it. Don't let Val deceive you. The box it's in is still hot garbage. Yeah, but if it's the best deck in the game, who cares about the box? Look at that. Lava Golem. Everyone loves Lava Golem. I'm just saying. This deck is playing Dimensional Fissure and is playing Lava Golem, which means I already hate it. I don't like this. I don't think this has much to do with Valmonica, but God, I hate these cards. I actually used to really like Defissure, but that's back when graveyard effects weren't like as prevalent as they are now, where a lot of decks need the graveyard just to function. So I don't know. I don't like these cards. Make me angry. So Norrentino getting supposed here as well. So if uninterrupted, Valmonica has the best turn 1 in the game. Adding Dimensional Fissure makes it better, as it does not have to worry about most hand traps. I can still floodgate a lot of decks. If they find a more consistent way to beat hand traps, this deck is the best in the meta by far. Bam. There it is. Damn, I need to play speed. Need to respect my max rarity TCG Vol deck. There we go. The Lava Golem Dimensional Fissure deck. We just got to go all in. To be fair, Stardust might be tier 2 and Centurion tier 1, but we can't really see it because of the skill update. Also, the new box could make Stardust worse. I mean, potentially, but all we can do is use the data we've got, right? As of right now, the current format that we currently have access to, in tournaments at the very least, this is how things shake up, right? We'll have to wait and see where Stardust actually ends up, but as of right now, this is just how things are shaking out by looking at it. It's funny the deck is doing the Endcraft solution, like in Master Duel, to not get hit by Droll playing DeFi. Yeah, I think Stardust tier 2, but who knows, we're in fake meta. Fake metas sometimes end up being the best metas, it's wild. Alright, Centurion up, Destiny Heroes up. Is Destiny Heroes really on the rise again? Come on, Destiny Heroes. Let's just keep reading Norrentino. Everyone loves Norrentino. The meta is Tech Turbo. Centurion can play 12 to 13 decks, so it's really strong right now. There's a lot of grind game and is strong against most of the hand traps being played, except Droll. It will probably take Stardust's place in the next list. And Destiny Hero can end on 2 plasmas. Your mom lets you have 2 plasmas? Cope that the opponent doesn't draw the out and get free wins. So if you summon out double plasma, and your opponent just goes Lava Golem, and if Valmonica's playing 3 Lava Golems, doesn't that mean that they'll out it quite easily most of the time? I think that most tournaments don't even allow Stardust. I love the fact that even though it's not being played a lot because it's not allowed, it's still considered tier 1. That's wild. Destiny Slop, I might join the villains and play D-Hero out of spite. I'll just look out for Lava Golem. Then we have Resonators and Trap Tricks. So the Resonators is not that great, but it can get some cheap wins thanks to Trap Eater taking Centurion out of the back row. The issue is going first is so weak, so you're really vulnerable to hand traps. And then Trap Tricks is the same issue. Turn 1 is really weak to hand traps. Sometimes there's a lot of trouble achieving an OTK. If they want to play Abyss Dweller, they have to drop Gallant Granite, which is the issue because you really want Nib. I mean, yeah. Just draw Nib, Lamau. Just draw Nib. Everything will be fine, trust. My boy Rezo getting tier 3. I love how Rezo is like, yeah, it's tier 3 because it can beat Centurion like in a really cheap way sometimes. It's like, okay. I've really been enjoying Centurion as of late. I mean, it's a cool deck. I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's a cool deck. And I've played I've played a little bit. I don't have all the cards is the issue, so like Ah! Get out of there, Droll. Though definitely not deserved. I'll probably be buffed next box with Bestials. Is Bestials going to be that big of a buff to Centurion? I guess? I don't know. I've never played a game with Bestials, so I have no input on that whatsoever. If I see Puppet Lock, I will scream. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, let's take a look at the leaks. Since we have these leaks, let's make this bigger. Look at that. Bam. Pro skill. Let's see what it does. You can only use the skill's second and third effects once per duel. You cannot normal or special summon effect monsters except Blackwing monsters and or level 10 or lower Dark Dragon / Winged Beast Synchro monsters. Okay. Reveal one monster that mentions Black Winged Dragon in your hand and add 2 Blackwing monsters from your deck to your hand. Then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Yo, is that a... That's a Rush Duel skill if I've ever seen one. Reveal 1, add 2, discard 1, bam. It's just worms. If your opponent controls a monster, or you control a face-up Blackwing Synchro monster, set 1 Blackwing Armor Master from your extra deck or graveyard to your field. Its battle position can be changed, then add 1 Blackbird close from outside of your deck to your hand. Do you get a free Armor Master? Which you could get from Grave? I don't think you're ever gonna... Would you hard summon an Armor Master in modern Blackwing in order to get it back from the graveyard? I don't think you'd bother. D-Hero and such shambles from Bestials. A shade. Because the idea is, it's from graveyard, so you could use this multiple times. But the third effect can only be used once per duel, so you're not going to bring it back from the graveyard ever. You don't even summon him? Exactly. So I assume when you summon him, he's just a bunch of levels to be synchroed. And that's it. I can't imagine you wanting an Armor Master. Summon the full Armor Master, which we don't have. Are we getting that, though? Is that like, this might be a thing that we're going to be receiving? Again, I'm not a big Blackwing player. I like Edison Blackwings. I have nothing after that, so... I think he's purely for the counter trap. Oh, I see. I think so. Why does Blackwing get the rocket harassment of no cards to extra? Don't worry, it's fine. You'll send him with Ultimate Slayer and then summon him back. That would be really funny, to be fair. That would be really funny. Alright, Carlin. So this is one of the 2 Carlin skills. I actually imagine this is the good Carlin skill, but I haven't read either, so... You can only use the skill's second and third effects once per duel if your deck contains at least 10 Infinity monsters. You can only special summon level 9 or higher monsters once per turn. Right. What is that trying to lock you out of, by the way? Does anyone know? Anyone have an idea what they're supposed to be trying to stop us from doing? During this duel, any effect damage your cards would inflict your opponent becomes 0. That should just be on most skills, to be honest. Each turn, you can activate 1 Infernity Trap card the turn it's set. Okay. Shuffle up to 3 this creepy little punk and or Infernity monsters from your hand into the deck. Send that many Infernity monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Then add 1 Infernity card from your deck to your hand. Okay. No multiple Trish. Ah, right. So the whole point is we Trishula, and then because of how Infernity works, we're able to just keep doing it again and again and again. From turn 2 onwards, set 1 level 2, 3, or 4 Infernity monster from your hand or deck to your field. Their battle position can be changed, or any of them are on the field. You cannot special monsters from your extra deck, except a synchro monster. So, first off, this skill 3 is interesting because it doesn't have the traditional if your opponent has a monster. They specifically are like, no, you're not doing this turn 1. We get 3 monsters just immediately. Infernity Barrier goes burr. And I still think Infernity is irrelevant with this. Nah, all you need to do is hope that someone is cooking. Someone's going to cook something absolutely beautiful with this, okay? I believe. The thing is, again, I have experience with, like, old Infernity. I don't really know what, like, the modern Infernity deck looks like or what it's playing, so I don't really have much to say about this. Hello, Null. Hola, Senor Tomato. Hello, hello. Null, welcome, welcome. I hope they do. The monsters being face down is yikes. Why is that an issue? Is it because you get a chance to interact with them when they get flipped face up? Or what? 10 Infernity monsters when there's like maybe 3 good ones max. I'm crying. I mean, if you're playing 3, that's 9, right? So now you just play 1 bad one. Bam. Easy, right? If you flip the tuner, they can't play anymore. Isn't that true for a lot of synchro decks, though? Not to synchros when they're on the field. Oh. Right. Because you flip it down. Then they'd have to tribute summon or use some sort of spell to clear the way, which they're just not going to be doing. No, yeah, I see it. I see the issue. Like with Blackwing, the last time I played it was still Kalute for game. Never ever forget Kalute for game, okay? Sirocco, boost attack, Kalute for game. We still for 1 turn, the second part of the skill. Stardust always plays them face up, so it's not an issue for them. I think that was one of the things that people hated about the Stardust skill, though, was that you couldn't interact with it, because they just all come out face up. Why does Stardust get face up and Infernity has to go face down? I would imagine it's because of stuff like AFD, where you don't want to summon AFD, you don't want to have to flip AFD into attack position. Something silly like that. But right, next up, the other Callan skill. You can only use this skill's 2nd and 3rd effects once per duel. During this duel, you can activate Infernity trap cards the turn they are set. So the other one was 1 trap card each turn. This one's just whenever you want. Any effect damage your cards would inflict to your opponent becomes 0. Nice. Shuffle up to 3 Infernity monsters from your hand back into your deck. Send the same number of Infernity monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Add an Infernity card from your deck to your hand. Isn't this basically exactly the same? Is this like the same skill? Is this just like a slightly different version of like the data mine was done a bit weird? If your opponent control a monster, play through from different levels from your hand or deck face. Yeah, this is the same skill. Okay, we don't need to read this then. Pegasus! What? Why is there a toon skill, guys? Do we know? Do we have any idea? Why a toon skill was data mined? Is this an April Fool's joke? What's going on here? This skill's 2nd effect can be used once per turn. Activate at the start of your 1st turn, set 1 toon bookmark to your field from outside of your deck. If you control a face-up toon world, shuffle 1 monster from your hand into the deck, then add a toon monster from your deck to your hand. Then if you shuffle a toon monster, you can draw 1 card. Character duels? Is that the speculation? This is for character duels? I think it said character duel. I mean, on the data mine, it doesn't say character duel. On the data mine, it says Pegasus question mark, I think. Let me have a look. I'm going to the data mine. We're going straight to the source. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It says not sure. Is the only thing it says. If we're adding another character to character duels, do we really want Pegasus? Is Pegasus what we want in character duels? I don't know, man. I think a lot of people would rather either have a new world, so get like Arc 5 stuff in there, or add in like a 3rd character from a different world, because DM already has 3. Right, wait for the ads to go away. Welcome back from the edges. I really hope Playmaker gets good cards. We get Crow and Carlin too. Bro thinks Playmaker isn't getting like 2 trash cards. It will be just another on-map victim. A screw Arc 5. Arc 5 is great. I don't know what you're talking about. Arc 5, like, I would love to play character duels and play Bluffle, Super Heavy Samurai. I would love to play Phantom Knights. I think Speedroid would be a fan favorite. I'm not personally the biggest fan of it, but I think a lot of people would love to play that. DDD, like, tons of people love DDD. I would love, love, love to play that in character duels. There are so many good decks from Arc 5. Ironically, the one deck I have literally 0 interest in is Performer Pals. I could not care less about Performer Pals. Take that shit, throw that in the trash. I do not care about it. Kite was leaked? Ooh, okay. I'll have a look. I'll have a look. So is there like actual like... Oh, character duels. Oh, right, yes. Here we go. This is a completely different section, that's why. Because Not Sure is like put in as its own separate section. So, Crow. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll grab these quick. I'll grab these. I'll chuck them on the screen so everyone can actually see them. That'll make life easier. Do 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 do. We'll just get over this. We don't need that. Bam! Here they are. These are the skills. I had to go back to the other main box. No, give me Rush Character Duel, lol, so I can finally farm those level up potions. No! You'll get Rush Character Duel in 2032 and you'll like it. I don't think they'll add anything past Zexal. This is more so meant to be an earlier format, so I think adding pens and links to the mix would mess up the game balance. I don't think it matters. I think links are more impactful than pens. That being said, I don't think we would get Arc 5 until like a year or 2 away. I wouldn't be surprised though if we do get them eventually. What if Arc 5 characters don't use pen decks? I don't think that would work, because then how do you do DDD, which is going to be a fan favorite, and you wouldn't not have the pro tag, right? I think that would also be weird. What if we should get more Speedroids? Bam, there you go then. Super Heavy Samurai support would be nice to see someday. I would like to play Phantom Knights for sure. Yeah, Phantom Knights is just a really cool deck, I think. I think everyone just kind of likes Phantom Knights. I've never met someone that doesn't like Phantom Knights. If you don't like Phantom Knights, say so now in the chat so we can all point at you and be like, that's the guy that doesn't like Phantom Knights. That's because Yuya is trash. Yeah, I don't really like Yuya. I like a lot of Arc 5. Arc 5, in my opinion, is some of the highest highs in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do not. Yeah. I love Performer Power. So many gimmicks in one deck. Not very good, but fun. I prefer Perform Mages and some of the other pen dark types, like Abyss Actors and stuff. I prefer them to specifically the Perform Powers themselves. I still think Link is the coolest mechanic, just because rockets. So, I said this at length, right? I think Link's is one of the worst mechanics introduced into Yu-Gi-Oh! Not because I don't like Link decks. I actually think a lot of the Link decks are really, really cool. I think Rockets are awesome. I think, like, Orcust is a really cool deck that I personally like, really vibe with. I think Sun Avalon is, like, a really fucking cool deck. But I don't like the EMZ. I think the EMZ is a net negative for the game. I don't think it added anything. I think it took stuff away, and it added, like, these weird restrictions. I don't really like the arrow mechanic of Link monsters, and I don't like how easily you can just use anything to make a Link. A lot of the time, you can just have stuff left over, and then just link it off to make stuff. I don't like that as a mechanic. I think it's too, like, open. It's too unrestricted. And because of that, I don't really like it. Pendulums are also really bad for a completely different reason. Pendulums are in a really weird spot where, depending on the master rule you're playing, they are either complete dog shit and do almost nothing, like just as a mechanic. You need other cards to support them, sort of like ritual monsters, where like rituals out the box were just complete garbage, but then as soon as we just threw a shit ton of cards at them to force rituals to be good, they became good, right? Pendulum's in a bit of a similar boat, where a lot of the pendulum stuff is just kind of bad, unless we have, like, these cards that just force them to be good. But Pendulum is like, you can just ignore it a lot of the time. It's not actually going to matter. And putting the pen zones into the spell and trap zone is also kind of fine. It doesn't really change anything. My second ever locals top was with a Phantom Knight Adventure pile. I could never hate PK. There we go. Bam. Everyone loves PK. Did you see the Adventure Horus PK build? Someone took to Cog. No, I have not seen that. I'm not loving pure Phantom Knights, but I love the theme, especially mixed with Raid Raptors. Raid Raptors is a weird one. I like Shun, who plays them, but I don't really like Raid Raptors themselves. The idea of just like aesthetically, they've never been my jam, personally. I actually dropped Performer Power for Abyss Actors IRL for a long time. Goofy cards, cool effects. Got them all in Duel Links 2, one of my faves. Master Rule 4 ruined everything about Links at the start. Yeah, I don't like Links. I think the game would have been better without Links, but I still wanted all of the Link cards, which is difficult to put into words. And also, without Links, we couldn't have had the awesome duel from Vrains between... Not Windy, what was the other one called? Lightning? Was that his name? And Spectre. I think that was such a good duel. And it just fundamentally does not work without Links, right? Ritual has insane support, even pre, like, Mitsu era. You gave that any mechanic, they would just be crazy. The thing you have to remember is, though, Ritual cards came out with Magic Ruler back in, like, 2002. And they were only ever playable, Demise OTK, which most of that deck was just cards that said Rituals get to actually play the game. And then, what was the next Ritual deck after that? Gishki, probably? Then Necros? I want to... Wait, was Gishki before or after Necros? I'm trying to remember. Either way, like, most cards in a Ritual deck are cards that say, like, here's, like, plus 6, so that you can actually play the deck. Judgment Arrows soon trust. I mean, never say never, right? Remove EMZ, add Judgment Arrows to all decks. Cyber Angel also did great. Cyber Angel was a weird one, though. Cyber Angel didn't come out until way, way, way later. Like, way after Necros, way after Gishki. So, it's a tricky one. Anyway, let's read these character duels once. So, Crow. Once per duel, at the start of your main phase, if you have any Blackwing monster on your field, reveal one to your opponent to activate this effect. Add a Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind from your deck to your hand. I mean, Gale's good. Special summons itself, halves someone's attack. That's just good. If anything, the skill's a bit boring, but it'll be okay, I think, at character duels. And then Kite. Once per duel at the start of your main phase, if you have any Photon monster in your hand, reveal one to your opponent to activate this effect. Set one Photon change to your field from outside of your deck. Right. I've forgotten what Photon change is. We're going to look it up quick. Photon changey. This one. Send this card to the graveyard during your second standby phase after activation. I'm already not liking this. You can only use the following effective Photon change once per turn. Send a Photon or Galaxy monster you control to the graveyard to activate. Does this come out face up? Set one. It can be activated this turn. Okay, we at least have that. Special summon a Photon monster from your deck with a different original name than the set monsters. Add a Photon card from your deck to your hand. So you have to give up a monster to do this. I don't know how good this is going to be. Gishki was before Necros. Bam, there we go then. A Cyber Angel Duel Links was cool. I played Cyber Angel and Duel Links. I didn't like it. As in, like, I like the cards. I like playing the deck, but, like, the meta it was in was kind of garbage. I think I still have... Yeah. I think I still have somewhere. They might be in this pile. But we're talking about Blackwings. I have some of my old Blackwing cards. We've got some Sirokkos. We got Shura. We got the Black Whirlwinds. I had my Cyber Angel cards somewhere. I don't know where they are. They'll be around somewhere, but I don't want to, like, dig around to find them. Do you think this will revive character duels? Hello, Toti. I mean, I think character duels are designed to be seasonal. I think these will come out. People will talk about character duels. People will play character duels for 1 to 2 weeks. The people that are just grinding them for gems, they're just going to keep playing. This will make character duels fun for a bit, and then they will go away again. And then they'll get a bit more support, and then they'll be fun again for a week to 2 weeks, and then they're going to go away again. That's kind of how I've always viewed character duels. I don't think they're ever going to do more than that. Photon Chain MST will be so sad. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because obviously it's a continuous trap, so it won't even go on the stack. It'll just fizzle. Sure the goat, and give some staples and reprints. I mean, yeah, that'd be nice. I kind of like the idea of playing Kite. I don't know about the skill. I think the Crow skill is better, but comparing these to the Onomat skill, like just the skill in a vacuum, the Onomat skill is just still so much better than either of these. Peg, if this does come to character duel, though, depending on what cards they give us, because Toon is basically an OTK deck, right? So, I mean, I suppose, really, you can kind of play everything as an OTK deck. But I wonder how interactive Toon OTK would be. I don't know. Be a weird one. Alright, next up, Playmaker. You can only use this skill's second and third effects once per duel if your extra deck contains at least 5 Code Talker monsters with different names. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except Cyberse Link monsters. The attack of Link monsters you control increases by 500. Reveal one Cynet codec or one level 3 or lower Cyberse monster in your hand. Shuffle one card from your hand into the deck. Then add up to 2 Cyberse Gadget and or Cynet spell trap cards from your deck to your hand. If your opponent controls a monster, or you control a Decode Talker, play one Code Talker monster from your extra deck face up to your field, then add a Cynet Crosswipe. This... What can you actually end up with doing with this? Because, like, yeah, we have a bunch of stuff we can search out. That's fine. We can get a free Code Talker. That's fine. We can get a free Cynet Crosswipe. That's fine. But we are still locked in to using only links. We also have to be playing 5 Code Talkers. I'm wondering, like, what kind of end board you're going to actually come up with this. Surely access code gets released? If access code gets released, though, I don't know. Access code is really strong. Like, really strong. It's hard to tell since you don't know what Code Talkers we will get. Yeah. I should maybe be able to end on 4 Link monsters. But what Link monsters are they going to be, right? Like, if you have... You could have, like, the Negate guy, but then he gets rid of one of the others. A lot of the Code Talkers don't do a lot. Also, Firewall, Dragon, Singularity. Oh, yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I guess until we see the cards, this is going to be hard to call. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Right. Now for the big ones. Bestial. You can only use this skill's second and third effects once per duel. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck, except level 8 or higher dark and light monsters. So, immediately, no Xyz monsters, no Link monsters. So we can only summon Synchro, Fusion, reveal one Blazing Cartesia, the Virtuous, or one Bestial monster in your hand. Send a Fallen of Albaz from your deck to the graveyard. Then add a Bestial monster and one Fallen of Albaz or a monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, send one the Bestial Alba Loss from your to your graveyard from outside of your deck. Then you can add a Bestial monster from your deck to your hand. This seems kind of crazy. Isn't this just really, really good? Which one's Albalos? I need to look at which one Albalos is. this one? Must be just summoned from your hand or graveyard by tributing 2 bestials. While this card summoned this way is in the monster zone, negate the effects of all face-up Ritual Fusion, Synchro Xyz, and Link monsters on the field. This card, in its owner's control, leaves the field because of the opponent's card effect. You can banish all face-down cards of the extra deck. This is just an asshole, isn't it? Just everything this card does is just... it's just being an asshole. Okay. Hello, Julius Caesar. Welcome, welcome. The skill is the scariest one. The skill is broken. Are you hyped for the skill since you like Branded? I mean, I have never been like a huge fan of Bestial, but like, Bestial is that deck that I always see like shoehorned into other stuff. Like it's more of like an engine or like a package or some text that kind of make their way in. This looks awful. I don't like this. You can't play it even if you don't like Branded. Puppet, Lock, Turbo goes Burr. It's a Floodgate. Branded, Slop, always getting everything as usual. I think Branded is just like a cool series of cards. But like, I don't know, man. This is just weird. It's like the little brother of Plasma. I think he might be the big brother of Plasma, you know. If you remove the Floodgate, they rip your extra deck. God, I love Floodgates. I love them so much that I have a Floodgated out of playing Speed. That's the thing. When I went and played Speed, like when I did my little stint of entering Speed tournaments with my dinosaurs, the thing that I hated the most was when people would just Floodgate me. Like, if I was getting beaten by... like, I remember Dwan, I want to say, knocked me out of one of Grand's tournaments in like top 16 or top 8 or something. With... I think he hit me with like a bunch of hand traps. And like, I was like, that's annoying. But at the same time, it's whatever, right? Like, getting knocked out of tournaments by better decks is fine. But getting knocked out of a tournament because your opponent floodgates the shit out of you is just so annoying. Because it's like, I didn't even get to play the game. And I just didn't draw that out. And just draw that out gameplay feels so bad. I don't know, I don't like it at all. I hated it so much. That was what made me decide that, like, I don't mind playing Speed tournaments. But I could never have this as my main format. Because floodgates will always exist, even if they're very, like, mediocre or they don't shot that often. They will always be there, and they will always get under my skin. God, I love floodgates. Hello, Battle Sparkle. I love them so much. I'm a floodgate out play speed, exactly. Even if the skill is not good, it is. The Bestials will also just be run as non-engine. DD Crow plus the 2500 body is nuts. Exactly. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. I guess it depends what cards we get, but I assume we're going to get most of them. So. Then the last one, Snake Eyes. So let's take a look at Snake Eyes. Bearing in mind, I do want to say as well, I've never played Snake Eyes. I've never played against Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes was really the time when I stopped really following the TCG. So I was kind of following the TCG during the... I think it was Centurion, it was Tearlament was around, the Ishizu cards, Kashtira, like all of that. And I think Snake Eye was when I was like, alright, I'm kind of done following this at the moment. You forgot to mention there's a skill restriction? There it is then. But during the main phase, you cannot normal or special summon monsters, excluding special summons from the extra deck, except Diabellstar, the Black Witch, and Fire monsters. During this duel, any effect damage your cards inflict your opponent becomes 0. Reveal one Diabellstar the Black Witch, or one level 1 Snake Eye monster in your hand. Add up to 2 Divine Temple of the Snake Eye and or Sinful Spoil spell trap cards from your deck to your hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, send a Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera from your deck to the graveyard. Set one Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils from your deck to your field. Okay. This is White Witch. Is the White Witch also part of Snake Eyes or another deck? I really like her design. Which one is Silvera, first off? I want to read that one. Since this just gets dumped in the grave. Is that the right one? It has White Forest in it. It's the trap card, right? Must be the trap card. Yeah. Alright. Send one Diabell Star monster from your hand or face up to the graveyard, then target one face-up card on the field and negate its effects. I mean, that's already pretty good. Especially since you get it... Wait, no, because it goes to the graveyard, right? Back to the graveyard. Yeah, okay, so this goes to the grave. So what's this graveyard effect? When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Diabell Star monster effect or your Sinful Spoil spell trap or card activation, banish this card from your graveyard to negate the opponent's effect. That's also just really good. It's just really good. I'm hyped for Snake Eye since the deck can go second really well. Where you get this info about the new box. So the info we have is from the Duel Links server. The Duel Links Reddit Discord server, I believe, is the the hoops you have to jump through to get to that. And then all the data mines are put in there. More like generic Elysian Monster gets another card later as White Forest. She is the enemy of Diabell Star. Oh, I see. I don't know anything about the lore. Diabell. Let's get that out. Diabell Star. Let's get Diabell Star out. What's the one we get off of this? The Black Witch. So that's this one, right? Yeah. So you can special summon this card from your hand by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. You can special summon one Diabell Star that's just this way. You can only use each of the following effects of Diabell Star the Black Witch once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set one Sinful Spoil spell check from your deck. Spell from your deck. During your opponent's turn, if this card is sent from its owner's hand or field to the graveyard, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard if you do special summon. I mean, it's obviously a good card. I'm trying to get a good look at its art. This is a cool looking art. It's kind of like assassin mage kind of vibes. I kind of vibe with it. Don't worry, the lore is too complicated to enjoy. That's fair. That's fair. Is branded worth building? I think that probably Bestial might be worth building, and this is sort of branded. So maybe. But again, I'm not the person to ask. If you're asking about a fun factor, personally, I've never enjoyed playing branded in Duel because I don't like the skills and I don't like the way the deck plays in Duel. So she does not look like a witch. Not really. Isn't this the next Chronicle anime we get? If you say so, I don't know. Looks like a vampire card. I mean, kinda. But yeah, that is it for that. And with that, we've gone through all the leaks we're going to look at. So now we'll quickly go over the Rush OCG stuff, because we've always got to take a look at the new cards that are coming out. So this is the artwork, the concept art for the new baseball cards. I mean, looks cool. You know me, I'm a sucker for the mechas, and he's kind of mecha adjacent. Unironically, I think this looks better than Utopia. Which, that might be a hot take, but I think he actually looks cooler than Utopia. And he's got a silly baseball theme, so... Do people even still watch the Chronicles? I've been watching the Chronicles, to be fair. But then again, you know, they're quite short. I can use them as content as well. Utopia Ray V has turned. This looks dope, holy. I think this looks awesome, personally. Entire stadiums on the shoulders. That's the way it should be. It's important. Alright, next up we have Chaos Kampf, Beast Leviatriton. So, during the main phase, this card was normal or special summon, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Okay, that's good. It's just only the turn it's summoned, but it's normal or special, and we mill. Mill is good. Increase this card's level by 4. Okay, goes up to level 7 for the end of the turn. For the rest of this turn, if you attribute summon a level 7 or 8 Fiend monster, oh, you mean like all of the Royal Rebels? In attack position, you can treat this card as 2 tributes. So this card on its own is both of the fodder to summon out any Royal Rebel monster and get its effect. That is insanely good. This card is so good. Ironically, you probably wouldn't even play this in Duel Links. You don't need it. You just don't. Unless we get a new skill that obviously helps the newer cards, doesn't help the older cards, and it doesn't kind of do the same thing, then maybe you play this, but... Only those that don't say Light Fiends because it's dark. I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Surely you cannot do Doom Metal with this. You absolutely can do Doom Metal with this. You just summon this out, bam, Doom Metal. Pretty good. This is trying to make Rebels relevant again, which I like. I like the idea of that. This shouldn't work that way. It treats as 2 tributes, and it's level 7, so it's 2 level 7 monsters. It works. Next up, we got the mole. Let's take a look. So this is the weird one. I don't really like this, but I like the other one. We'll talk about this one first. If this card is in attack position, choose one face-it monster on your opponent's field that has more attack than this card, and take damage equal to the difference. So it's as if you're attacking it. Then return this card and the chosen monster to the owner's hands. End the main phase immediately. So, because of the way that Rush Duel works, there is no way to have an effect that triggers in the battle phase on a monster. So we have had to jump through so many hoops to try and make Grand Mole work sort of how it works in TCG. And this is awful. Like, I don't know, man. This is so weird. Like, at what point do you just not put it in the game? Like, this is just weird levels of bending over backwards to fit it in without changing the rules of how the game works. I don't know, man. This is like fine, but it's very strange. It's very strange. Hello, Hikari. We'll do an exclamation mark, Hikari, in the chat. Always got to give the shout outs. We're just looking at your favorite card, Hikari. I know how much you love Neospatian Grand Mole. Mama's needed for Magma Neos. Well, we're probably not going to get Magma Neos, right? We'll get something else that's weird, but... Interesting. Finally, I finished work early on a Tuesday. Well, I'm happy that you finished work, Hikari. You've got any plans for today? You're going to spend your evening doing something fun and exciting, I hope? Man, we needed... I mean, they kind of did it with Chainsaw Insect. Just give it a continuous effect. Yeah, but... That's a point, actually. How does Chainsaw Insect work? Is it on here? Let me have a look quick. If this card destroyed a monster instance of a battle. I guess it's because it's at the end of the damage step. Because there isn't really a damage step. I don't know. I don't really know how the rush breaks down the phases, to be perfectly honest. But yes, playing games. Nice. Nice. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. They just killed Grand Mole. And make it so you can draw 5 and immediately ends main phase. I can't. I need to see hero slot. But then we get this. This is cool. I like this. I like this guy. This guy's effect I think is good, and I think the artwork here looks good. So this is Earth Neos. So Mage using Neos and Neospatian Grand Mole, Contact Fusion. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Bit expensive, but fine. Choose one card, not just monster, on your opponent's field, return it to the hand. I think this is cool. There'll be some situations where you'll go into this and this will either let you get in for a ridiculous amount of damage, or you better clear out back row. Just summoning this sometimes will force back row anyway. Like, I actually quite like this. Who's the most thematic character to put branded on, by the way? I actually kinda like the idea of doing branded on Alistair. Because one, I think Alistair looks really cool. And Alistair has, I think, the right vibe for branded. But I wish my shoulders were that wide. If you keep going to the gym and you do the right kind of exercises, you too could have shoulder drills that could pierce the heavens. And the last card we're going to take a look at, well, last thing we're going to look at today, is It's Her Turn to Strike. Today we're introducing artwork of the primary themes introduced in Special Pack Cross Art Collection that goes on sale October 10th. The primary included themes are Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, Dimension Linker, and the Wind Sea Serpent theme Low Stream. Also, Amulet Dragon and Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight finally appear in Rush Duel. So we're getting Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight riding Timaeus. Neat. We're getting Dimension Linker archetype, where she has like a katana type sword, and she's got like kind of the samurai garb here, like mechanical samurai outfit. And then we have the low stream stuff. So this is low stream Nomura, which is going to be the new Sea Serpent deck. Now I assume this is what Manicus is going to be excited for out of all of these. Oh, Amulet Dragon the Goat. I mean, Amulet Dragon exists. And then they're just talking about having new, different, shaking up the rarities. 2 out of the 8 cards that we follow Rush Rare, which is neat, I suppose. It's not Sea Serpent Maximum, so get out. No, it looks cool. I think this looks cool. Nemo and Rush, though. He has a Mimo pet. He does. It's got little hands on it. It kind of looks like a cross between a clownfish and a Lekmon from Digimon, if anyone gets that reference. Excited for both the new Sea Serpents and also Dimension Linker. You're not looking forward to Dark Magician Girl in all of her... I don't know. All of her. Is that a squirrel fish in the back? That's just the same thing, isn't it? It's one of these again. They have the same, like, pointed face. They've got the same bit here. It's the same colours as, like, a clownfish. He's got the same little hands. Tamaya's carried. Exactly. 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 Alright. With that done, I guess we'll talk about the elephant in the room that we've been talking about kind of behind the scenes for a bit. Digimon Up. Alright. Let's talk to you about my experience playing Digimon Uppies. So, Digimon Up is a mobile game. A lot of people thought when it came out it was going to be a Tamagotchi style game, a V-Pet, right? So you get given a pet, you feed it, it'll poop, you level it up, you do dungeons or whatever, you send it out doing stuff. That's the sort of game a lot of people thought it was going to be. As we got more and more information, it seemed like it was not going to be that. We didn't really have an idea of what it was going to be until about a week before the game came out, and it did seem to be some sort of auto-battler. Now, after playing it a bit, I can say it's not really an auto-battler. An auto-battler would imply that there is like some sort of tactical way to play the game. You can move stuff around. It would be more like a Teamfight Tactics or a auto chess, like those sort of games. It's not really like that. It's more like an idle game. It is more, you set it up, you watch it go, numbers go up. You wait for stuff to happen so that you can make the numbers go up more, and then that happens. The weird thing is, it's not quite an idle game, because an idle game idle exponentially, and they will continuously go up. This is an idle game that is locked progression. So stuff isn't constantly going up. You're waiting so that you can make the numbers go up. It's weird. It's a bit of a weird one. Hello, Hunter. Welcome, welcome. I can see those fishy serpents being Union Rush themes, some like the fish equipping to the reefs. I mean, that would be cool. You have to play them. Oh no, Digimon and my Tomato Streams. We've always got to talk a little bit about Digimon. We've always got to talk a little bit. One more thing for Tomato. We know the stats also typing for one of the themes of Laura Rebel pack. Health is Earth Pyro. Earth Pyro. We already have Earth Pyros. I'm not a big fan of them personally. Get stats. AFK Journey or something like that. Kind of like AFK Journey. Hello, Hunter. Welcome, welcome. But so effectively, what happened was, I installed it day one. I tried to play it. I couldn't play it because I was getting an error code. And I googled the error code, and there was just people who also had the error code, and nothing was being said about it, so I didn't know if I'd ever get to play. Now, this is Digimon Up. This is what it actually is. So first things first, I will say the pros. This sprite work is amazing. Like, I think the art in this game looks so good. Like, it's actually incredible. Like, my Guilmon looks amazing. I'm just gonna click that. Give me the. But we jump back in, so I'm gonna zoom in a bit. I think Agumon looks amazing. The frames per second on these sprite work animations is so good. I think all of these guys look amazing. You can also do a nice little zoom in, which I quite like as well. If anything, I think Gekamon actually looks the worst. I think Gekamon hasn't had as much time put into his animations as a lot of the other ones, which is a bit disappointing, but a lot of these guys look great. This is my character up here on the side, by the way. That being said, the gameplay is fine. Now, there's a lot going on the screen here. There is so much shit on the screen right now, which is already quite not great. This middle bit here, this is kind of the actual game. As in, like, this is visually what's happening. These cards down here, these are also part of the game. You basically have a hand of 5, but these aren't like actual cards that you like draw from a deck. These are just abilities that I have equipped effectively. So whenever they're used, they go on cooldown, and then you can see that they're slowly like unfilling. Beneath that, this is like a half gacha, half equipment screen. So on the right, these 5, these are my equipment that are equipped to my tamer. So these are like the things that my character is wearing. To the right here, so that was on the left. On the right over here, these are the chips that are installed in my partner Digimon. So my Growlmon, which it now is, has these 5 equipped to it. Right, so that's that. But then this bit in the middle is gacha. So if I click the auto open, now it's spending my stuff to gacha through equipment. So already it's a bit weird. So for this, I will sell that. I don't want that. So it's just going to basically keep opening stuff as long as I leave that button pressed. So again, this I don't really... No, that's probably better. So then we'll equip it. So a big part of the game is just doing that, right? And then you basically will get equipment that makes your guys better. You equip it, you do that, you do that. That's all fine and dandy. And then they just keep basically auto-battling. You don't have any input on it at all. Then you have things like the dungeon. So I'll show you a dungeon run quick. So it takes no time at all. So I can spend one of these, and then I'm going to fight Devimon. Me and my partner Tai, we're going to run in, and then we're just going to beat up Demi Devimon. And he's dead. There you go. That was a dungeon. So that's all fine and dandy. There's not really much like gameplay here, which is fine. But this is where it gets weird. So down here you can see we have this little play, a little 2 out of 2. So if you click it, you can view ads to receive a dungeon ticket. So if I click OK, it then is going to show me minutes of ads in order to, which it looks like it's already broken, ironically. This should be filling at the top, but it seems like it's busted. Unfortunate. Well, let's fix it. It's bigger. We'll close that. Oh, no, we didn't really get that. Okay. There we go. We managed to fix it. So, by watching ads, you can get basically extra goes at things. And every single thing you do in this has ads. Just like you can get extra ads on this. I can get extra ads on... Or I get extra goes if I watch ads. I can go down here, and I can watch ads to get extra stuff just in my box. So that is the biggest, like, egregious thing. Is they basically are, like, just throwing watch ads constantly at you, which is very annoying. But that's kind of whatever, right? Like, depending on the type of person you are, if that's going to really annoy you or you're not going to care. It's kind of is what it is, right? Not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it. Best game in the world? No, but I'm liking it. Chronomon DM should have been in the game. Icons, the video game. All the buttons you could want. By the way, if you care, the SP recovery style is just better than the attack and defense. It's OP. I haven't looked at it too much. I basically gave it like a brief Google just to be like, is it bad? From what I've seen, the styles are actually quite similar. Apparently the attack style is very similar, but a bit worse than the special one. So apparently the only bad one is the shield one. So that is about the amount of information that I have. But we'll do our gacha pulls, because why not? We get a daily gacha pull here. So let's do this. We're going to do a 10 pull here, and then you'll get to see if we get anything awesome. Wow. We got Yakimon. Everyone loves Yakimon. Hey, that's actually really good. Overflow Virus is a really good one, I think. I'm pretty sure that's a really good one. Alright, then we'll go over here and we can do a different gacha. So we have a different gacha here we can do. And we're going to try and pull War Greymon. I want War Greymon. If you guys could just luck me into getting War Greymon, that would be swell. Are you planning to build any decks from the new main box? In terms of the new speed main box, I don't know. There's nothing in there that's like super exciting for me. I'll probably wait and see what comes of it and then go from there. We didn't get anything like particularly good there, but like some of the stuff in there is okay. We can click here, we can level up using all of our spares, we can do auto select and it will put some of our new guys up here. So now we should be a bit stronger now. Now, that's all fine and dandy. That is all fine and dandy. SP recovery meta at the moment. Hello. What the gacha? Hello, Baz. Yeah, we're talking about the Digimon game quick. We're just kind of going over a little bit. Add me, I want the bits. Well, add you. I guess I could add you now. I haven't done anything with this yet either. Where is friends? Where is friends? Menu? Friends. I don't even know how to add you. Search. Manachist. Now, you see, this isn't helping. Anyway, I don't want to mess around with that too much on stream right now. But there is PvP. There is PvP in this game. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is PvP in a game like this? So let's jump in and show you some PvP. We'll fight this guy. We might get our ass kicked. So the way it works is, you get shown a bunch of people, and then you get to challenge one of them. So I'm going to fight the guy with the lowest number. Let's fight this guy. So theoretically, we have the highest chance to beat this guy. And then we're just going to do a fight. I won. So that's PvP. I just got 17 rank points for that, and I just took 7 away from this guy. That's PvP. Oh, by the way, I'm just saying, doesn't that Gallantmon behind him look so sick in the middle there? Come on, guys, that looks so good. It looks so good. Capital M. Okay, we'll have a look. Damn it, music. I didn't tell you to stop. I'll claim all of this stuff as well. Friends. Add. Manarchist. Search. You don't exist, Manarchists. God. There is no Manarchists. He's just lying to me. I don't like PvP at the moment. Everyone is on heal meta, so nobody dies. And if you don't kill them, it's a draw. Well, that's why I'm in crit meta, where we can crit through people healing. I'm sorry, this ain't even a game. It's a number generator. Is there a way to disable ads in up? No. I mean, you can just ignore them. You can just not look at them. But I don't think there's a way to disable them. Oh, right, yeah. That is right. Apple Tree is right. Someone actually did tell me about this. I think you could pay like £10 or like something like $9 to basically turn them off always. But yeah, to be fair, right, I get what Hunter is saying. I understand what Hunter is saying. This is not going to be the sort of game for everyone. But there are a lot of people that really enjoy idle games, and this is effectively an idle game. So, I personally, this isn't really my cup of tea, but like having it just like running in the background unoffensively is fine. This is not a game you play. This is a game that you have up in the background while you do other things, right? That is the best way to sum this up. This is not a primary monitor game. This is a secondary monitor game, or something you have up on your phone while you're watching Netflix or while you're playing a different game, right? That's what this is. So that was my little offshoot talk about that. Overall, I'm having an okay time with it. I don't think it is the best thing in the world. I don't think it is the worst thing in the world. It is fine. I'm very much Switzerland in this. Would I rather the ads weren't there? Hell yeah. Am I going to spend money to get rid of the ads? Hell no. That's kind of where I'm at. Moving on from that, there was this. So this is the Palworld TCG, right? So this is a new TCG. Now, I have recently been playing on a Palworld server with some of my friends. I'm very, very much behind them because they have a lot more free time than I do. So they all kind of like got to endgame really quickly. I was like very much lagging behind. But I saw there was a card game coming out, and I saw that Sukimura was talking about this in the Discord, so I thought I'd have a look at it. I think these cards actually look kind of nice. Like, unironically, I think these look quite... This is good art. This is a good layout. It's made by Bushiroad, which is like a company that I quite like. Is there a sim? So that's the neat thing, Mono. There is. And it's on this website. This is a fan-made website, right? And just built in to the website there is a simulator. So you can find a match, or play a friend, or just play offline. So I'll jump into like a bot game. So I can just hop in, and bam, I'm playing the game. Now, you can't see it very well because I've got the screen really small. But over to the side here is like all the phases and everything. There's extra information that you can't really see. Unfortunately, because I'm looking at this in like a square, a bit of the information is cut off. But it's like, you could just play the game. So here I have 2 mana, effectively. So right now, all my hand is quite expensive. I'll deploy this. So I throw this out. I've got 1 mana left, so I can't do anything else, so I'll just pass my turn. His turn. He's also played a structure. Now it's my turn, so I can play this, which is, that's not bad. So I will go ahead and deploy this. And now I have a guy with 600 power and 2 strike. And in this game, nothing has summoning sickness, so you can just attack the turn you summon it. So this is now tapped, and it's attacking. I dealt 2 damage, so now he's down to 8. So again, this is just a bot, but you can do this against other people online. So he played this, which means now he can block if he wants to. He's got 700 attack. I think I'm going to put this down, you know. We'll deploy this out. We will go to... We'll attack with this. So I can attack him directly, or I can hit... Well, I can't hit his guy, so I have to attack him directly, because I can only attack tapped guys. He's gone down to 6. Now, I can't attack with this one. I will activate this ability, tap this to draw a card, and then I'll pass. But yeah, I was just showing off how the simulator works. I'm not actually going to bother playing out the entire game against this bot. But this is how the game is. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Is this Pokemon TCG? No. So this, gameplay-wise, I would describe this as a mix between... It's sort of Hearthstone-y because you have a separate mana deck. So you don't have like lands in your deck. You don't have like energy in your deck. You have a separate deck where all of your mana goes. And you gain it automatically each turn. So you could never be mana screwed. But you have 5 monster zones, sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's no summoning sickness, like Yu-Gi-Oh! But if you want to attack, you have to tap, like Magic the Gathering. It has a lot of different rules from a lot of different games. So, for example, here, this guy has, once per turn, I wonder if we can make this bigger. Kind of. Once per turn, we can pay 3, or discard 2 cards from our hand, and then stand it. So what that means is, when we attack it, we have to rest it, so we tap it, effectively. But then, if we pay 3, or discard 2, we can untap it, or, stand it, and then it can attack again. Which is really cool. Obviously, you can only do that once per turn, but being able to attack twice is really good. And it has 1700 power, which is, as from what I can tell, really good. And then it has Strike 4. The way that Strike works is that is the amount of damage that you deal if you land a direct hit. So your opponent has 10 starting life. If this guy lands a direct hit, they immediately take 4. Then if you stand it and it attacks again, he lands another direct hit, they immediately take another 4. So they immediately go down to 2 life, which I think is really cool as well. Vanguard restand. Yeah, basically a Vanguard restand. Text-wise on the card seems like Card Fight Vanguard card. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar layout because, again, it's made by Bushiroad, and all the Bushiroad card games are very similar, like, card layouts, right? But I think this looks really cool. Like I said, it's got, like, a sim, so I was, like, interested by that. A lot of the cards look, again, like... I think this artwork just looks really nice. Like, it's not perfect artwork, but I think it does look really cool. Like, some of them as well, it has that, like, kind of Pokemon thing, where some of them have, like, a different art style. Where this looks more, like, hand-drawn. Whereas some of the other ones look a bit more, like... Yeah, a bit more computer-assisted, right? We should do a tournament for this. I mean, the game comes out on the 30th. So the game actually releases in 9 days. Like, the actual physical game. Which is just cool. I saw this, and I thought I would just mention it, because I thought this was really cool. I thought this website as well goes so far beyond what they needed to do. They did not need to make a simulator and throw it on the website. Where, like, again, this is just a fan website, right? This is like a DLM. But they've gone, also, we're just going to have a fully working simulator that has matchmaking. Which is so wild. Is there a spectator mode, though? Or the Riftbound sim got it? Well, I don't think so yet. Just because this is this is still, like, brand new. There are 37 in game currently, 0 in queue. I don't think there's a way to spectate yet. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. And they even have a pack opener, guys. I can open a pack. What do I get? I got Farming Hat. I got Surfet. I got Dire Howl. I got a Wooden Wall. I got Pen King. We got Daydream. And we got a Meat Cleaver as our rare. Bam. In 1 month, we get Chaotic. Can we stop getting TCGs, please? No, we will never stop getting TCGs. That is just never going to happen, unfortunately. This is the world we live in. But yeah, I don't know. I think I like playing new TCGs. For me, personally, I think being able to play new TCGs is always a lot of fun. Am I going to play this physically? Nah. The issue is going to be the same as all other physical TCGs. I would have to have someone to play it with. Locals are going to be non-existent in my area. So, is it going to be worth it? Probably not, unfortunately. But if I can play it online, that's a completely different question, right? Can I get some good digital card games instead? The thing is, digital card games require a lot of money, time, and effort to make, and tend to not see a huge return. So it's a weird one. It's like, is it worth investing in something that you might not see a good ROI? Like, I would love it, personally, but it's like being like, why doesn't everyone put out new MMOs for me to play? And it's like, because MMOs cost a lot of money, a lot of time, and people hate them a lot of the time. We had SV1 that died. What's SV1? Oh, Shadowverse 1. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, there's been a lot of digital TCGs that have kind of gone nowhere. Shadowverse 1 is not good. Same with Shadowverse 2. So for me, I think Shadowverse 2, which is the one I played, was quite fun. I don't mind it as a casual game. I don't really like it as a competitive game. And that is just because I don't like the flow of the game in the late game. Other than that, I think the game's great. I think the park is fantastic. I love the 3D models. I don't think the monetization is particularly egregious. I don't mind logging in to do the quests and stuff. I just think the actual gameplay after like turn 7 or 8 just gets to a state I just don't like. The pace just goes from like 0 to 100. I just don't like that. It's good early on, but later on. Well, Shadowverse 1 had their good years. Me when volleyball. Exactly, Badge. Exactly. I'll tell you what. I did download this, so we will have a quick look at this. I don't know if this is going to work very easily for me. If I go... What if I go here? This might work. Aha! I wanted to have a look at Badge's puzzle that he made. I want to check out Badge's puzzle and see what their puzzle looks like. So Badge has made a puzzle. I actually probably should have looked at the Your graveyard belongs to me. My graveyard belongs to me. The monsters in your graveyard will boost my monster. Note the order of monsters recycled matters. What does that mean? The order of monsters recycled matters. So we have PSA. We have Jumble. We have the guys. Yeah, these are the side pieces that grab the guys back from the graveyard. This is the annoying field spell. This is the one that you used to grab back the fire guy and get a draw. Who do we have in the graveyard? We have the Miller, the Fungus. Don't remember what this one does. Comes with Galaxy type to the end of this turn. Then you can change one attack position monster in your opponent field to face up defense position. This is the direct attacker. This is the fusion one. This is the 2 tributes. This one gets you back the trap. Diversity Scream, I think, was the trap. This is the one that boosts your attack to ridiculous levels. This one's special for the graveyard. We have an entire maximum. Attack equal to the number of non-galaxy types on your field times 3,000. Non-galaxy lose 3,000. Make them non-galaxy. We also have 3 fusion monsters. We have Doom Oblivion. This is the one that attacks all 3. Blob. Pops. Mother Fungus is the back row hate. And we have to out Transam Prime at full armor Nova. So this card gains attack equal to the number of different types in both players' graveyards times 300. If there are 5 or more different types in the graveyards, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, so I can't pop it. It's the great... Yeah, it's just all different types. Okay, so there's nothing I can really do about that. We're not going to empty that. Unless maybe the strategy is I just have to empty the graveyard. If there are 10 or more, it gains an additional 3,000. So this thing is just on 14,400. Alright, Drowning. Cylinder. So 2 legends. Cheating. What was this one? Spectral Swords of the Ever-Loyal Guard. When the opponent's monster declares an attack, one face-up fusion monster on the field cannot be destroyed by battle. So, we have to either turn off the trap cards or pop them. What's in our deck? It's just 3 copies of Detonation Fusion. Well, if it's win this turn, these are not useful. So... destroy a monster, that's not going to help. Change to defense. If we change it to defense, it's only got 1600 defense, so if we have piercing we can kill, we can attack directly. 2500. 2500 exactly is going to be a weird number to try and hit. So I'd have to reduce it down by a crap ton and attack over it. Or attack directly, or change it to defense and pierce. Those are the options. I don't think any of these cards deal with the back row, though. I have this to pop a back row, but just the one. Anyway, let me catch up with chat quick before we go into this. EDO Puzzle in the Big 2026. This is what rotation do to a card game. There's like 3 methods to this apparently. I mean, mono, look at Pokemon TCG. People do not care, still buy it. OTS best deck. God, I love this deck. In puzzles, when you shuffle from graveyard, the cards always go into top deck in the same order you shuffled. So does that mean the card I click first ends up on top, or the card I click last goes on top? Because that's going to be important with fucking a whole bunch of Talismanic Seal Arrays. Got to one of the biggest franchises in the world, also 50% of people buying it are not even playing. That is very true, very true. Every OTS monster in existence, wear Ritual Sunday. I need to get to Rush TCG. The order in the grave... Oh! So is it like... if I do this, 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 and this, it will always do this one first, no matter the order I click them. Okay, so, my gut feeling is I have to use Fungus to get rid of these 2. I can recycle Fungus with Seal Array. Am I going to have enough to summon it out? I have to get it out, get it in the bin, put it back into the extra, summon it again. I don't have any fusion spells, so the only way I can fuse is Rainpale. So wait, so I have to use Rainpale to summon it, then tribute it, then put Rainpale back in my deck, then find Rainpale again. That pops both the back row, assuming I can even do that. And then I still need to actually deal with this. How small is it going to be when I get to there? Is there any piercing in here? I don't think any of this gives piercing. The maximum doesn't give piercing, right? Oh, it does inflict piercing. Okay, so we could potentially make the maximum. Change this to defense using this. Pierce over it for game. But I still need to get rid of both of these. From right to left should be top to bottom. Looks like you can Fungus a few times. How big is his monster? I can't see it properly. It is 14,400 attack. I don't think I can make it any bigger for you, unfortunately. Alright, regardless, we can't play any of these till we activate one of these. So... we'll go ahead and do this. If... right, I need this. That happens. That's happening either way. I need this. If I use this, I can draw into it, but I can also just grab one. Let's do this. Right, reduce your attack down. If I summon this, I get an extra card. Do we want to go for the maximum? If we go for the maximum, I need to assemble 3 pieces. I can use these 2 to get 2 of them. I can then grab a third with that. Right. Let me summon this. Activate the effect. We'll grab a piece. I don't think it matters which piece at the moment. We'll make it become Galaxy. I don't think I can be able to get all 3. I mean, I potentially could, but not after... So I have to use these to do that. Right, I'm going to discard the max piece. We'll use this. We're going to send the max piece. I don't think I can get all 3 max pieces recycled, as well as... thingy. So I can do this, which lets me draw. That gets me the card I need. Okay. Then... if I activate this, that gets me Fungus, which means I can go into this. What do I do after that, though? Activate, get Fungus. Summon, mill 2. That'll put me on 0 in deck. Go into the fusion, pop. Tribute to summon out the fire guy? Then what? We'd have to use the fire guy to get back... this, probably? Missing Magical Knight. There is no Light Machine Knight fusion monster yet, but soon. Yes, put everything back in the deck before activating the field spell. Why do we care about the field spell? We have like a million billion guys in here. I don't think it's going to matter. Also, I don't think the field spell is going to matter anyway. Unless we're like barely under, because we have to attack over it. So we have to get low enough attack that we can get over it for 2500 damage. Which I mean, it's possible. Ah, maybe you're right. I'll activate it then. We'll throw it out now. Right, we activate. I need this. And this. Then... summon. Activate the effect. Use this and this. I have to use this. We'll summon it out. Activate the effect. Put 2 back in. I can't use this. So I have to use TSA, because there's only 3 cards in deck to use. So how's the order going to work here? If I'm going to use TSA after, then the cards I put on the bottom here are the cards I don't want to get with Jumble Recovery. So can I just like... then we get rid of Drowning. Okay. Now what? I can summon... I need that in the graveyard before I activate PSA again, so I want to put that back in the extra. I don't think there's any use for you anymore. What am I discarding? Am I summoning this? Getting it back to discard? I don't need this trap card though, right? So I think I can keep this in hand for now, and maybe... oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this yet. Maybe this is fine? I don't know. That might have been a mistake. I need one of these two either way, right? Neither of these two matter when they're used. Right, we'll summon this out. Then... Wait, with TSA. This needs to go back. I need to get this in my hand. So can I just do 1, 2, 3? Is there any reason not to do that? I think this is fine. 2, 3. Reduce. Right, we do this. Add this back. Alright. We activate, we fuse. We use that and that. He's still got so much attack though. So what can I do from here? I have 2 maximum pieces in the deck. Is there any way I can add them to my... Because I can summon this and get 1. I could use that and get another 1. That's going to be about it. If I... instead go for this... This has to be... normal summons, send the top card. So I have to have a card in my deck, and I have to normal summon, which means I need it to be in my hand. But this... That's 2 level 4s. Is this... This is level 4. This is level 4 as well. So I have to use this to make that. He's at 25. How much attack is it going to have? So it has... 12. Non-light attribute galaxy monsters gain 50. Why is the... only gaining 700? Am I dumb? What have I done wrong? While those cards in the field, they face up non-light attribute galaxy monsters in your field gain 1500 attack during your turn. Why is this only 19? Have I been reduced by something? Am I stupid? This one's gained 15. This one hasn't. Oh, it's a thunder. It's a thunder monster. That's why. Okay. That makes sense. Are you a galaxy? You're dragon. Do you become galaxy? No. Which means the field spell isn't... Okay. I can activate this effect. So I need to use this, and I need to make room for this. Activate. This point, I don't think it matters. We can get rid of this. Then we use this. And then I need to do this in a way where this ends up on top. So I think I could just do this. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now on top should be that. So now he's 34. Yes. I can take this back. Normal summon. Activate the effect. And then this and this can attack directly. Go. Oh, it does change. Am I really dumb? Oh, but yeah, he becomes Galaxy himself. Okay. Let me get a battle. And then we can attack directly. Okay, we got there. We got there. I originally thought Jumble said add any OTS card from your graveyard instead of add card sent to the graveyard. Ah, I see, I see. So you said there were like 3 ways. Could I have one with the maximum? That's assuming that Badge is still here. So I realize when I do puzzles, I go into like mumble mode where I just like start mumbling to myself. Yeah, this was a cool puzzle. I like this. This one wasn't like insanely hard like some of the other ones we've been doing. But this was fun. I enjoyed this one. there is a method with the max. I assume it was... Actually, I suppose it can get really big, so you probably don't even need to change it to defense. I was tunnel visioned on the piercing part, but since we got this down to 8,000, we could have reduced it by another 3,000, boost the max's attack up. So maybe that would have been enough to just attack over it. But that's that bit done. Apparently you can loop the fusion to pop all 3 of the back row. Does that help if you can't attack over it? And if you can attack over it, surely you could just attack over for game, but I haven't tried it, so. Alright. That's kind of it. Like, there's not a lot else that I was planning to do for today's stream. We are a little bit early. The other thing I did want to mention, I guess, is that we do have a Rush Duel Dynasty today. So I'll go ahead and chuck that into chat in case anyone is interested in playing in a Rush Duel tournament today, which is going to be a good time. So yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap us up for today, you know. Today's been quite a nice, like, chill stream. So the plan, by the way, I did mention this at the start. If I get back, so I guess I'll mention what I'm doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be busy for a bit. Then I'm going to the cinema, and we're going to watch The Odyssey. That is the plan. After I get back, well, after the cinema, I'm then going to get some food. So that'll be some sort of mealy, possible restaurant sort of thing. After that, I will be coming home. If I get back before 8, then I will be doing the Zexal watch-along. So that is the plan for Zexal. If I don't get back before then, I'll just have to move it again, unfortunately. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But, like I say, tomorrow is my birthday, so I am going to be quite busy for that. Thursday, I kind of want to play some Noodles. So we're probably going to play Noodle Ninjas on Thursday and just have that as the Thursday stream. And then for Sunday, I'm actually thinking we might go Cardfight Vanguard. I kind of want to do some Cardfight Vanguard, so we might be doing that on that. I originally want to make it reduce the graveyard an absurd ton, but OTS cards are just too good that it threw away that idea. That is quite funny. That is quite funny. But thank you guys for hanging out. As always, it has been a blast. And with any luck, I will see some of you guys tomorrow. So, goodbye.